Hi there. Today we're going to be discussing the weather. Let's look at the veteraj vortoj. Neĝi means to snow. My little trick for remembering that one is in high school Spanish class, I learned that nevar is the verb for to snow in Spanish. And my trick for that was, okay, it never snows in Texas. All right? It rains everywhere, even in the desert, just not very frequently, but it never snows in some places, so that neĝi, it's similar enough that my Spanish trick from years ago still came in handy today, right? Pluvi is to rain. So you can think of a plunger, handling water or plunging into an ocean or something like that, if that helps you. So pluvi is to rain. Nebulo is fog. Now, nebuloso would be an actual nebula in outer space. I understand that. But I still use the Mutara Nebula from Star Trek II to remind myself of the fog because I couldn't get the sensor reading on the other ship because of the interference from the static electricity. And, if you think that you can't remember fog equals nebulo because of a Star Trek II reference, well, I'm here to tell you, yes, you can! It's a good movie. All right, next is Fulmo. Fulmo is the word for lightning. And easy way to remember this is that it is the word fumo, smoke, except it also has a lightning bolt right in the middle of it. That L there is whoosh, an L. It's a lightning bolt. So fulmo has the lightning in it. Tondro is the word for thunder, and that's pretty close to thunder. Close enough that I don't need to come up with a trick for it. Then the next one I highly recommend learning. It's to hail. It's highly, all right? Now, this is only in regards to weather. You wouldn't be, hailing frequencies open, Captain. Thank you, Uhura. Patch them through. It's not that. It only deals with little hailstones or it's hailing outside, okay? And so you can think of highly frozen particles. They're frozen up high and they fall. That's another way to help you remember highly. Then that's great. Nuba, or nubo, is a cloud, so nuba is cloudy, all right? Humida, or mal seca, seca is dry, so mal seca is the opposite of dry, it's wet, would be humid, okay? Glacio is ice, think of a glacier, right? Glaciaggio would be a ice substance, right? That's where we get like ice cream and stuff, could be glaciaggio. Degeli would be thawing or melting ice. So I think about de-icing a plane, that starts with D, the DE thing, and so degeli, I just think of it, it's undoing something. Yeah, it's undoing the frost or the iciness. So degeli is to melt. Now, it's one thing to make flashcards with all of those and just ingrain into your mind. Pluvi is rain. Nebulo is fog. Yeah, you can do that all day. And a lot of us do that sort of thing. I did that at first. But that's not really what's important. What's important is using the words correctly. You don't want to sound like a caveman, right? So you want to be saying it correctly. You don't want to go out there and say, "Gi estas pluva." It is rainy. That's stupid. No one says that. We say that in English. We don't say that in Esperanto. So let's learn how to actually incorporate these words correctly. This is more important than just getting the vocab down. Kia vetero estas tie? What kind of weather is there? You wouldn't necessarily say, what kind of weather are you having, like havas having. Maybe you could, but this is much more straightforward. So what kind of weather are you having there, or what kind of weather is there? Hieraŭ pluvis, sed hodiaŭ estas pli malvarme, do neĝas. All right, let's break that one down. There's a lot going on here. Hieraŭ, it means yesterday. Pluvis, past tense form of rain. You don't have to say G pluvis, it, that we don't need to say an it there because it isn't anything. Just say pluvis. Or you could say estas pluve. You could say that. Or you just say pluvis. So, hieraŭ pluvis, sed hodiaŭ estas pli malvarme. Okay, so here we're using the estas. Again, no it, no G in there. We're just saying today it is more anti-warm, which means cold. It's colder today. So yesterday it was raining because it was above freezing, but today it's colder. Therefore, it is snowing. Neĝas. All right? That is how you would word it if you're talking about the weather, okay? Rapidu en la domon. Hurry into the house. Ek pluvas. All right, pluvas. Well, we know pluvi, oh, that's rain. It is raining, but what does ek mean? Well, in other videos I've pointed out that ek means the sudden or beginning part of an action. So ek pluvas means it's just beginning now to rain. Okay, it's starting to rain. Pro la nebulo mi appena vidis ion ein. Because of the fog, I hardly can see anything at all. Okay? Pro la nebulo, because of the fog. You could also say la nebula climato, the climate, or la nebula cielo, the foggy sky, or something like that. There's other ways to do it. But la cielo, the cielo would be the sky or the heavens. La cielo estas sen nuba kai luma. The sky is without a cloud, is cloud-free, and it is luminous. You could also say hella, bright. You could say suna, sunny. A lot of different ways you could express the clearness, or clara. It's clear of anything like a cloud. La glacio sur la chausseo degelis. The ice on the highway thawed. It melted, okay? And when it comes to driving conditions on the road and picking the right road to take, it's the thawed that counts, right? Stay safe out there. So next we have, now this is where we get a little tricky, and we have options, so we gotta pick our options correctly here. La neĝaj flokoj au neĝeroj falas. So the snowy flakes, floko is a flake, but that could be a corn flake, a soap flake, a flake of dandruff, whatever. Flake can apply to anything, so you have to specify the snowy flakes are falling. Or instead of that, you could use the ER ending thing to specify that you're talking about the smallest individual particle of something. So that would work here. The snow particles are falling. Totally sounds fine to use that. Now, if we talked about rain, we couldn't say the rainy flakes, right? You wouldn't say the pluvi flokoi. You'd have to say the pluvi gutoi, the rainy drops, okay? That would take on a different noun. But you could say pluveroi, the rain particles, okay? And look at this next sentence here. La haileroi batas mian kapon. Okay, so the hail particles are hitting my head. That is great to know that we can just put an ER there, because otherwise, I might have to think for a second. Do I say the hail-like stones? Wads? Balls? What do we, bulo, stono? What is the right word? Is it hailstone? I don't know. Maybe this language doesn't work that way. But you're safe to say the hail particles, okay? Estas humide kai malverme. It is humid and it is cold. Great. Now, let's move on to the storm words. These are the more extreme situations of bad weather, inclement weather. La ŝipo perdigis dum la tempesto. You could also say dum la ventego. William Shakespeare's play The Tempest has been translated into Esperanto, and sometimes it's called La Tempesto, sometimes it's called La Ventego. Totally depends on the author's decision there, because both are valid. La grizaj nuboj anoncas stormon. The gray clouds are announcing a storm. All right? Uragano detruis la domojn. Ne tajfuno. Uragano. What do you think that means? Hurricane. And it does sound kind of similar, right? A little different, but a little similar. Uragano detruis la domojn. A hurricane destroyed the houses. Ne tajfuno, not a typhoon. That one's pretty simple. Spelled differently, but it sounds very similar to typhoon, right? So the difference between a hurricane, a typhoon, a tropical storm, all that stuff is muddy according to some people, so you can look those up yourself, but it's good to know that there are different forms of it that you can use in the language. Mi remarkis ciel arcon post fulmo tondro. I noticed a ciel arcon, a sky arch or a sky arc. What could that mean? A rainbow. Okay, neat. I noticed a rainbow after a thunderstorm. If you put fulmo tondro together like that, it means a thunderstorm. That's just the way, you don't have to say fulmo tondro stormo. You don't have to do that. Fulmo tondro, I understand you're talking about a thunderstorm because it includes both thunder and lightning. Next, Ĉu vi memoras tiun neĝtempeston? Do you remember, or are you remembering that? What's a neĝtempesto? Okay, that's a strong wind blowing a tempest, a storm, but neĝ, oh, it's like a blizzard. Now, there isn't, to my knowledge, a word like a blizzardo or anything like that. So if you need to talk about that, you could say a vintra stormo, a winter storm. Okay, but neĝtempesto, I've found several cases of that in the Textaro, as well as a Ventego. So you could do either one of those. So sometimes we have a direct word. Sometimes we kind of have to build a word. Just you need to know by trial and error and by reading a lot and searching. Next, la Ciklono movis la bovinon. Okay. Now, I did find in, I think, Wells' dictionary that tornado is a acceptable word, but I barely found it in the Textaro. Ciklono is much more common, a cyclone. So that's the one I would be more likely to use because it's more common, more customary. So just because a dictionary says it, check to see, all right, is this as common as this dictionary says? Or are they just saying, yeah, a few people use that word, but by and large, you want to say this one. That is something that is a mark of a good speaker, is to know what's popular to say and what's customary and what isn't. Whoa, hold it. Stop typing that comment on YouTube. I know what you're about to say. I just caught it myself there. I misspelled cyclone. It should be Ciklono. So that is the correct way to spell it. I put 2 C's in it just now. So please spell it correctly and memorize it correctly. I'm eternally sorry about that. Please don't make me record everything else again just because of that one typo, all right? Thank you. Continue with the lesson. So now our, what is this? The climactic finale today is going to be talking about temperature. Telling temperature, because what if I wanted to say exactly how hot or cold it is? Would it be how many degrees outside? I don't, no. Here's how you say it. La temperaturo altiĝis ĝis 70 gradoj. Okay, grades of something, a gradient or whatever, that is the word for degrees, okay? It's grado, gradoj. So the temperature went up, was raised until, or to, the point of 70 degrees. Cool. La varmo ne superis 10 gradojn. The warmth there, you could also say varmezzo, I suppose, but I found this exact phrase in the Textaro. So the warmth did not supersede or go beyond or above 15 degrees. Estas minus 2 gradoj extere. Okay, so it is -2 or -2 degrees outside. So you wouldn't say negativa degreos. You wouldn't say that. You'd say minus 2, okay? Now, you can put the word minus there. You could also just have a little negative, little hyphen there as well. I've seen both cases used, okay? But you still pronounce it as minus. Here, do a little conversion for you. 100 gradoj Celsiaj egalas 212 gradoj Farenhejtaj. Okay, interesting. 100 degrees Celsius equals 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So here we're specifying the degrees Celsius equals how many degrees Fahrenheit, but by and large, just based on where the language was started, where the majority of the literature has been created, you're best to assume we're talking about Celsius until specified otherwise, okay? So with that knowledge, let's look at the final example. La akvo ekbolas ĉe 100 gradoj. And here you can write out cent instead of saying the 100 form, okay? So the water begins, or water itself, water starts to boil at 100 degrees, all right? And so, well, we know enough about science to know that they're talking about Celsius, but that's just the assumption you want to make. That's enough for now, I believe. There are other weather words you can certainly learn, but that should get you in the ballpark and give you enough to talk about things with people. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.